Okay, happy hump day, y'all. Yeah, today was a weird one. Yeah, we went in at 1 o'clock in the morning to get up to another plant. And to my understanding, we were supposed to be on the job at 2. We didn't even load the first truck until 2:30. And this high-speed crew that they had out there, a bunch of Mennonites, managed to kill 200 yards in 2.5 hours with no power screen. It hand rotted. That's fucking impressive. We've done great big jobs where they've had a pump out there, and we've done 200 yards, and it's taken 4 hours to get it done. Yeah, I was a kill off to the kill off. I ate like 3 yards. They only need 1.5 yards. So, anyway, yeah, it's not the yardage, it's who's finishing it. Period. And how far away the job is. So, they had, I'm doing a head count. Just to me, dude, chickie. Me, dude, chickie. I think that was all we had out there last night. Name drop, just to keep me track. Hang on. Me, Daniel, Matthew, Jimmy, Camille, and D. 6 of us. If I'm not mistaken, there might have been one more. Way behind me. Yep. Job was about 10 minutes away-ish. Yep. 200 yards in 2.5 hours. Rock stars. Yes, that job was great. Everybody. The other job that they had in town, they had 14 trucks. And that job was only like 5 minutes up the fucking road. 14 trucks for 600 yards. 5 minutes up the road. And they were still working on it they started at 11. They were still working on it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not the yardage. It's the finishers. If they'd had that Amish crew out there, it would have been done. It would have been done probably 6-7 hours, and we'd be done. Those guys are great. Outside of trying to break the damn door off of the porta-john I was in, I was like, easy! Oh, sorry. I was like, well, if it didn't open the first fucking time. Sorry. And not to mention, I wasn't even in the truck. Obviously, I'm parked in front of the porta-john. Obviously, I'm in there. Think about it. Straw hat guy. Anywho, the one guy's like, we're stealing your water. I said, yeah. I see that. You can steal it. I'm done. You can steal all the water you want. You can drain the fucking tank for all I care. Stop trying to break into the bathroom while I'm in it. And they were like, hee hee. Anyway, I got off of there. Went back to another plant. Got loaded with another load. Went to that one. That one was fine. These guys, they pissed me off. They always piss me off. Does not matter what job it is. That contract, that crew, there's one guy on the entire crew and a girl that works there that I can stand to communicate with. The rest of them are like, ugh. I get so aggravated. But that one went decent. It's like, get it off the truck, get the fuck out of here, get washed down, go. Anyway, so I went to a footing, and my damn truck, these new generation trucks have a tendency to like to regen on their own. Like, you can hear it. It has this like low hum, like, on a normal, right? Hummy noise. And, you know. And when it starts to regen, it goes, and you're like, oh, you dirty whore. And what it does is it messes with the drum speed. So we got this little like joystick, and it's got like a little light switch type of thing, but it's on a spring, right? So if you push down, it discharges. You push up, it charges it, so it goes back into the drum. You know, no concrete comes out on the ground, right? Well, when you hit discharge and it's in regen, it goes full tilt boogie. It makes a mess. So I'm trying to be gentle with it, and it's doing its own thing. And the finishing guy, who I've poured for a gazillion times, they love me, but I'm like, he's like, what's the matter? I was like, this fucking truck is in regen, and it's dicking with the bowl. And he was like, oh, well, just do the best you can. It's making me kookadook. I managed to get through that job. I get washed out. I get the fuck out of there. Anyway. Then I sit at my plant. Not mine. Another plant. For like 40 minutes. And we're all jaw-jacking. And I'm talking about this one dude that was on the one job the other night. And old girl's like, he's such a sweetheart. I said, he might be a sweetheart, but he need to go back to training. She was like, well, how bad was it? Bad. Describe how bad. I said, he didn't do Pretty Little Ribbons. He did brain anatomy. And everybody in the office is fucking laughing. I said, no. He like trying to pour concrete in cursive. And then they start laughing again. And the one manager, he's like, you are a fucking hot mess. I said, I'm telling you. And then the one kid's like, well, I asked him about what happened the other night. You know, he's like, my fucking truck was fucking up. And I'm like, no, if he'd had it locked in and had any kind of concept of how to color in the lines. He's like, what? That bad? That bad. He's like, okay. This boy has no alibi right now. Anywho, so I'm on my way home today. I'm following a mixer. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Are they heading to a job? Or are they looking for the dump? And he puts on his brakes and he passes the dump. And he turns in to a body shop. He's looking for the dump. He missed the fucking turn. So I'm like, I got this. So I turn in, follow him in there. I stop and I was like, you looking for the dump? He's like, yeah. I said, follow me. So I fucking got him in there. I call up dispatch. I'm like, who's driving truck number? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, truck number? I got this number, not that number. I said, he's in that number. I'm not kook. I know what he's driving. Oh, your buddy. I'm like, is that him? He's like, yeah, that's him. He's like, you yelled at him. You'd think you'd remember his face. I said, I yelled at him one time because he was an idiot then. He's like, well, he's a fucking idiot now because I've told him, I don't know how many times, how to get to the dump. All you got to do is plug in the address, right? They've got an address for it, right? Oh, my God, it's so bad. Anyway, so I don't realize it's him because if I had, I probably would have chewed his ass. But anyway, I drove my pickup truck as like, follow me. Take notes. I get him in there. And I call up dispatch and I tell him, I just rescued one of your trucks. Oh shit, which one? I'll clock you out now. I was like, no, I'm good. Then I was on my way home and I noticed that the fucking guy missed the turn. And he went into the body shop and I assumed he's probably looking for the dump. So I helped him find it. Told him how to do it. Wet it up. Go all the way to the back. Kind of to the right. where no one's going to drive, as far as you can. Wet it up and make a big giant cow patty with it. Cow patty. Not a big dinosaur tit. And dispatch started laughing. He goes, that's exactly right. I was like, I'm telling you, they don't. You got dinosaur tits all over the place down there. He's like, do we really? I said, huge ones. Yeah, they put my double D's to shame. He just started laughing. Anyway, so yeah, we was, yeah, because I am not, I don't hold back with these people. Yesterday, one of the guys, he's like, where are the forks? Do we have any forks? I was like, yeah, they're fucking hiding. He's got them hidden. Keep that one. Lick it clean, put it in your truck. Don't ever, don't throw it away. Yeah, I went to a pump job and he had loaded me wet, and that's why I was upstairs. I was talking to the one bash guy, and I was like, yeah, when you have to substitute the man sand with the actual Pine Bluff that we always use, yeah, you got to take out 40 or 50 gallons of water. How bad was it? I said, it was pretty fucking wet, dude. And I called, I did. I called dispatch and I said, is this going to make a difference? As far as the chemistry goes? I said, because I'm kind of wet. Because they didn't compensate. Man sand, whatever. Which brings me to another topic altogether, is this fucking fly ash that we're dealing with. So fly ash and man sand are kind of like fillers. And I like man sand. Personally, I like the way the concrete behaves with man sand on the ground. It's smoother. To me, it behaves better. But they didn't have any in the bin because we were doing a pea gravel job and they share a bin, and one's more important than the other. So man sand got axed, pea gravel got prioritized, so therefore we had to use a Pine Bluff substitute for it. Anyway, when he did that, Pine Bluff has a tendency to be a little on the wet side, and it made every load that he sent out to that one job wet as fuck. That is what we ran into. And I looked at it, and I was like, well, it's got enough fly ash. You'd think it would have, picked up. And he's like, no, we haven't got our new fly ash delivery yet. I was like, when's that supposed to come in? He goes, they're supposed to be unloading it tonight after hours. I was like, oh. There's something to look forward to. So what happened with fly ash? Fly ash throws a PSI all out of whack. So every load that I went out to that Amish job this morning, it was reading wet as fuck. And as soon as I got there and I discharged, it was dry as fuck. And I'm looking at it like, and the guy's looking at me and he's like, and I'm like, okay, yeah. He's like, what's the matter? I said, according to my truck, that should be soup. You just give me about 5 minutes, because that's about how long it's going to take to fix this. Because I got a feeling it's the fly ash that's in the recipe that's causing that. So I went ahead and I got it wetted up. They needed more water after that. So by the time I got done wetting it up to their lightness, it was sitting about 650 on the meter. According to the scale, that's like a 9. Yeah. 2 batches out there. Same thing. Both times. Then I went to a footing. Mixes are pretty similar. Measurements are a little different, but the recipe's the same. And I get out there and they want a 6. It's reading 875 on the meter. I add 50 gallons of water to it, thinking that's going to touch it. It didn't fucking touch it. I ended up having to put 100 gallons in it to get it down to like a 580 to a 600 wetness. Well, that's what it read on the meter, but what they wanted on the ground was like something like an 8.5, 9. On the meter, shit, that's pretty much separated. Didn't look like that coming out. That's what fly ash does. That's what man sand does. Sucks up the water. It eats it. Eats up the water just like that. So, throws the PSI off, throws the entire viscosity of the mix off. It's just, yeah. Headache. So, in any case, I had a decent day. I got back, and we were all wondering, like, why the hell do we got 10 fucking trucks here for 40 yards? Yeah, it's a good question. I said, and they might want to think about looking at some of these hours. I said, because you got 4 people here right now that by the time we clock out today, we're going to have over 60. Because I had almost 50 when I clocked in this morning. And then we were talking, one guy's like, well, you get the same as us. And I was like, actually, I get the same as y'all in hourly, but I have 401k. And he's like, oh. I said, yeah. So I take out 10% of what I make, and I sock it into the 401k, and they have to match 4% of that. And he's like, damn. I was like, yeah, so I make more than y'all. Yeah, I never thought of it that way. I was like, yeah, that's the incentive. That's a lot of fucking money, dude. They need to be checking these hours. I don't need to be sitting on a yard for 40 minutes doing absolutely fucking nothing. Waiting at the end of the day when I'm going on my 12th fucking hour. It puts me at 64 hours. And I still got an entire day left. Tomorrow, I have all of tomorrow on the payroll. It goes into this check. I mean, I'm not complaining because cha-ching, but, you know, company, they have a tendency to, like, kind of, you know, bitch about money like the struggling family. The mom's like, you need to turn the lights off because the bill's too high. Well, it's dark outside. You know, walk around with a candle, you know. The company bitches about money. Like, you're using too much cleaner. Well, and then they bitch that the trucks are dirty. Well, because we stopped using it so much. Now the trucks are nasty. Help us out here. Fucking can't win for losing. Anyway, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, yeah, that was my Wednesday. And shit, I'm ready for bed. It's like, it's good to be back to work. I'm now realizing vacation's over, but I am still tired. Oh no, I have not recovered from that ride. No, I have not. Holy crap. My body still aches. I guess the shoulder. The shoulder is so sore. Anyway, y'all have a great week. I don't know if I'll be back on here. I might. Let's see what happens. See what kind of cray-cray I run into. Ugh. I don't know. Did I talk about the cursive pour? I think so. I'll watch this. See if I did. We'll have to. Oh, by the way. This one dumbass. Oh, what he was thinking. Oh, and it wasn't all entirely the drivers that I was working with fault either. This contractor that we were working with the other night, they had us bottlenecked so bad. We were in each other's way getting in and out of the pad, and we were in each other's way getting to the washout and trying to get cleaned up and returning to go get another load. And then, of course, we got people that like to primp at the pan. You know, they have no common courtesy. They have no consideration to others. You know, that kind of, you know, crap that I lose my mind over on a regular. And What was it? One dude that I ran up to that other plant with this morning. He's like, I told them, you're going to jump their shit if they don't get a move on. You're going to, I'm letting you know. She's out here. You're taking too fucking long, or you're just in the way. You could be doing that somewhere else. You see her pull on. While you're here, you might want to speed it up. It don't take but 5 minutes to fucking wash down the truck. And get it the hell out of the way. You can go primp wherever the fuck you want. Just not at the wash down pit. Get your crap off the chutes. Get the fuck out of the way. You can go wash your glass on the side of the road off the job site if you want to. I don't care. But that kind of thing. Yeah. We've got a bunch of them. Oh. Lord help me. And this isn't the driver's or the new guy's fault. It's the trainer. I will, honest to God, blame the trainer for not teaching them proper etiquette. Period. You can't expect a child to grow up with manners when they have parents that let them act like heathens. You can't expect people to come into this industry and have a fucking clue unless you train them to have a fucking clue. Because they're focused on one thing. I want to get a new truck. I'm going to keep my truck clean. I'm going to do everything I can to be a good person on this job. But they don't take into consideration the entire picture, and they get this it's all about me mindset, and they don't understand that when you're in the concrete world, you are a team. And you want to treat everything as if you are in a team environment. That is because if for whatever reason you are at one of these freaky fucking jobs and you run out of water, you might want to have a friend available. Hey, can I snag some water so I can wash down quick and get back? Yeah, he ran me out of water. And if you're a dickhead, you ain't going to have nobody to come to your rescue. Yeah, I help people all the time. I yell at them all the time too, but I still help them. You know? And I always tell them, and what have we learned? Don't slump your shit until it's your turn. Note to self, put a post-it on your window. Oh, yeah, trainer didn't train you to that, did he? No, yeah, didn't think so. Listen to the one that's been doing this 10.5 years. Who's been in every shit show scenario you can think of. I'm saving you from having to experience the hell that I did. Okay? Listen to me once in a while. When you're a rookie and you roll up to the washout pit and I'm looking at you and I say the contract that you just poured for because your hopper and your turntable are packed with hot concrete. And I know exactly what job you were at that caused that. One of the guys I worked with, he left with us this morning. He was like, how did you know? How do you think I knew? 5 years ago. He was like, shit. I said, I'll help you clean it. I'm not going to neglect you like they neglected me. I'll help you clean it. And I called up dispatch. I said, make me and so-and-so red. He's like, what happened? And I gave him the name, and he was like, oh, no, not again. I said, pack turntable. We're going to clean it. He's like, get on it, girl. Make it happen. Let me know when you're finished. Yeah. Someone's running out of water because the job's taking too fucking long. if I'm cleaned up and I'm ready to go and I've got plenty of water left and you're behind me and you're already down 3/4 of a tank, I will drain every bit of what I've got left in my tank into your tank, and I'll be out of your way. I will save your ass. Wintertime. Hoses get froze up. One of my poor buddies. I love this man. I wish I knew where he was. I hope he didn't change his number. Hopefully his daughter didn't change her number. I still have him in my phone somewhere. Yeah, his shit, he goes, I can't get this shit to slump. I said, does the hose work? He's like, yeah. I said, open up the hose and just hang it in there. I said, but we can do buckets if you want. I said, that or we can get nose to nose and I'll hose while you hose and we'll get you slumped and get your shit thawed out. And then when you're done, come back over and help me out. And he's like, yeah, sounds like a plan. Because he was ahead of me. So, get his shit done. When he's done washing out and I get in there. Hold on, I think I will. It's pepper. Pepper from what I just ate. Anyway. Yeah. Get a poor buddy. Help each other out. So yeah. I might be bitchy. I might tell you off. I might scold you for being But at the same time, I'm not going to let you destroy a truck. Because I think you're an idiot. Just be like, note to self, and what have we learned? Carry on. Have a good week, y'all. I think I got enough for one more drink. I'm going to get my ass in the bathtub. Peace out, y'all.